Hello guys, and welcome to my channel. I am Alex and I will be your host for today. As some of you know, doing a complete installation of Windows and optimization is not a small task for everyone. I will present to you my method that I am using for the past 20 years on PCs and laptops for safe, reliable installation and operation of the operating system. This may be a long video, but stay with me. For ease of navigating, I will split the video into chapters. First of all, use a working computer and download your Windows from Microsoft's page. There are two options. If you need Windows 10, then download and use Media Creation Tool. If you need Windows 7, then download the ISO from the Microsoft site and use the Windows USB DVD download tool. For the purpose of this video, I will install Windows 10 because it takes less time. Now we are going to search for Media Creation Tool. Okay, download it from here. You can close the browser. Depending on which version you want, you may want to have an 8GB stick. Okay, here you need to select Create Installation Media, USB flash drive, DVD or ISO file for another PC. Click Next. I have a 64-bit operating system, so Microsoft recommends me to install a 64-bit Windows 10. So if you want to install a 32-bit operating system on another PC, you may want to deselect this. Go here and select 32-bit or both, and a flash drive will be created with both 32 and 64-bit versions. Something to take note of: if you create your flash drive from an OS environment that was installed in UEFI or GPT mode, the flash drive in some cases won't be readable by a BIOS that doesn't support UEFI, or it will not create the partition table as GPT when you format your hard drive in that Windows installation prompt section. So that's something to keep in mind. Okay, here I can leave 64 or use the recommended, doesn't matter. Okay, you can flash it on a USB flash drive or external hard drive, or you can just download the ISO file and burn it on a DVD later or on a different stick with a different software of your choosing. Okay, I already have an USB inserted. Next, I will skip ahead so it takes less time. If all went well, you will be greeted with this message. Just click Finish and restart. First of all, we need to enter BIOS and check if our USB flash drive's installation can be read correctly. We can first try to boot the installation in UEFI mode. If it doesn't work, we must search and see if we have a legacy boot option. If we have one, for this to work, we also need to disable Secure Boot option. Take note: if you install Windows in legacy mode and having a GPT partition table is a requirement for you, it will not work. Legacy mode will use the MBR partition table automatically. Next, if you have set a hard drive or SSD, we need to enable AHCI mode in the BIOS, or if you want a RAID setup, you need to select the RAID option and set it up accordingly. Keep in mind that this option is not changeable once the Windows is installed. It will not boot. Moving forward, we now need to make sure that booting from USB is enabled in the BIOS and go to Boot Orders section. There you need to arrange the order of your boot devices so that the USB flash drive is on the first position and your hard drive or SSD is on the second position. Now we save the settings and restart. If you didn't understand much, stay with me and I will show you the settings in the BIOS. Now you need to restart your PC or laptop and rapidly tap the delete key until the BIOS is displayed. Note: on some systems the key could be different, such as F1, F2, F12 and so on. Please search for this information in your user's manual or leave your model in the comment section and I will answer. Okay, so let's see now if our USB is read correctly. Here are all the boot options. My BIOS is capable of both UEFI and the legacy mode, so I have both of them. For the purpose of this video, I will select UEFI. But before that, let's check some settings. Okay. These settings don't concern us. BIOS. Here you can arrange the order of the boot devices. Okay. So we need to make option 1 our USB. Here we go and select our hard drive or SSD. This is the SSD we are going to install it on. Good. Okay, let's see what other options we have here. If you want to use legacy mode, you need to enable CSM support. Okay, enable. It's enabled already. Okay, storage boot option control legacy only. You need to select legacy only if you want to use legacy, or UEFI only if you want UEFI. Okay, this one doesn't concern us. Let's see what we have in peripherals. Trusted computing doesn't concern us. Demo board doesn't concern us. Okay, here you need to have all of them enabled. USB configuration. Okay, legacy USB support, so the BIOS can read your USB drive if it's made in legacy mode. Okay, this is good to be enabled. USB mass storage driver support, yes. You can enable also this one if you ever use that port. Okay, if you have an NVMe drive, and CPS. Okay, chipset. Okay, in the chipset section you need to have it on auto if you have an AMD motherboard. SATA mode. If it's on IDE, if it's IDE selected, or I don't know, anything else, you should set it on AHCI. If you have a RAID configuration, then you will select RAID, and you need to go and configure your RAID settings. Also, if you have an NVMe RAID mode, you can select it here. Okay, chipset setup port enable. If you have some extra SATA ports on a motherboard, power. It's okay on AC back to be always off, so you will be protected if you have spikes or anything. ERP is okay to be enabled. It's protection from electrostatic, and anything else you can leave it at that. Okay, now save and exit setup. I will not do that because I'm okay with my settings. Okay, now when you start your computer, it will boot from your USB flash drive. I don't have my USB flash drive as my main booting device, So I'm entering BIOS, going here and select it from the list. I'm pressing enter. And waiting to load. Okay, select the language, click next, install now. I don't have a product key, or if you have a product key you can enter it here, or you can enter it after when your Windows is installed. Now you need to select the operating system you want to install. If you selected both when you made your flash drive, here in the architecture category, you will see both 64 and 32-bit. You will just need to scroll up or down. Okay, we will use Windows 10 Pro because this is what I'm using. Click next. I accept. I also encourage you to read the license terms. Click next. You need to click custom. Okay, this is my SSD which I'm trying to install it on. Click delete. Okay. You will now have unallocated space. Click new. I encourage you to make at least two partitions. The one where the Windows will be 100 GB and the other one for downloads and documents. 1024 times 100. Click apply. Okay. Good. Now click next. Now I will skip ahead. Okay, and it's done. Now if you want to put my computer on desktop, go to personalize, themes, desktop icon settings here on the right, and check computer, then apply and OK. Okay, let's arrange. We don't need this. Okay. Now let's rename this Windows. Okay. If we had another partition, let's say this, I would rename it data. Then access the other partition and make folders such as music, movies, documents, downloads, and so on. For this purpose I will only use downloads and I will show you why later. Okay, now go to start, click settings, go to update and security and check for updates. Okay, now we need to let them finish. The computer may be prompted to restart. It's always good to have the latest version of Windows downloaded for Microsoft because it has all the major updates included, so it will take less time to install. I will skip ahead. I usually don't use this bar, so I will hide it. I don't need this one. Okay, this one I don't need, this one I don't need. OneDrive I don't need. Settings, uncheck this. We don't need it to start with Windows. Also go to Task Manager, go to Startup and check if it's here. If it's not, it's okay. You can enable or disable programs that run at the start here. Let's check on the updates. Okay. Now it's done. All updates are finished. Check for updates. No more updates. Good. Next, install the browser of your preference. In my case, it's Firefox. I'm sorry, it's in Romanian. I will change it back to English. Check use Firefox as my default browser. This window will appear. Now click here, choose an app, Firefox. Okay, switch anyway. Let's configure Firefox, shall we? Go here, in this menu, options, save files to, go to that folder that you created, downloads, on the other partition. Okay, select folder. If you want all your tabs to appear when you start Firefox, then check this option and check this one if you want a warning. And that's all here. Okay, new tab. Now it's time to install an ad blocker. The best that I found is uBlock Origin. It's available for all browsers. Add to Firefox. Add. Okay, got it. Now let's configure it. Click on it and then go here. Go to filter lists and expand this biggie list. Okay. Now select all you can find. Okay, it's good if you also check your country from this list. There is a specific blacklist for every country. Okay, apply changes and update now. It will automatically update from time to time. Okay, now we need the YouTube ad blocker. So type YouTube ad blocker Firefox. Okay, add to Firefox. Add. Okay, this one you don't need to configure. Let's say you're almost bulletproof when it comes to Firefox. There will be one more plugin to install, but first you need to install the antivirus, and then it will pop up in your browser. So let's just do that. There is one more plugin to install. It's called Facebook Container. Okay. Okay, got it. Go here and you will see what this does. Now we will install WinRAR. It's free and very useful. Okay. Add WinRAR to start menu. If you have Windows 7, it will appear in the start menu. If not, in Windows 10 it will appear anyway. Now it's time to check for any missing drivers. Go to start, type device manager, and you look here. Let's say you have display adapters, okay, and the video card is not installed. Right click on it, properties, go to details, click here and click on hardware IDs. Now right click and copy this first line, go to Google and enter it, and the first link usually is from Driver Identifier. It's a software for drivers that I use and it's very okay. It's virus free and it helps me get the job done. It will prompt you this website. Go here, click on download from ASUS, and you have two options. Click here to download from manufacturer server, or click here to download from driver identifier server. We will almost always use the first one, but if the first one doesn't work, use the second one, like in this case. Okay, click on it, save file, you save the driver, install it, and then all should be okay. Sometimes driver identifier will prompt you to install their software, the software that you can find here. Let's download it and I'll show you what I mean. Save. Okay, this one scans for every driver on a computer if they are, I don't know, non-existent, if they are out of date. It will tell you if you should update. Just click scan now. It will take a while depending on how many devices you have connected. It will pop up a window in a browser. Okay, and here in the download section it will tell you if the driver is, I don't know, good, whatever that means. Okay, download this if you want to back up. No, I don't want to back up. You need to have it green or good. If you really need an update, you can update from here, but I recommend to use it just in case your driver has problems or anything like that. If it works fine, it works fine. There is really no reason. All my drivers are up to date, so I can't show you how it looks when that it's not installed, but it will have a download button and I think a red triangle or something. Just download it from here. Let's say we download this one just to see how it looks. Okay, this will be a list of drivers from different configurations, different manufacturers that can work with your configuration. Not all of them will work. You need to try them. Try to find your manufacturer here. I don't know, let's say you have a HP laptop. Try and install this one. If this doesn't work, try from another company that you know it works, it's reliable. Let's say you need the Realtek driver for your network card. Okay, try the one from HP if you have a HP laptop. If not, try and find the Realtek vendor here. Let's say this one is from Realtek. Okay, just go in it and download it. One of those ones should work. Now the last thing about drivers. go to your manufacturer's webpage. If you have a laptop, go to HP. If you have a PC, I don't know, with the MSI motherboard, go on MSI's website. In my case, I have an Aorus. Yeah, this is the one. Okay, go to support, driver OS. We need it for Windows 10 64-bit. This version must correspond with the version of your Windows. Okay. And check. You have the real audio driver installed? Yes. Okay. Sometimes the drivers that come with Windows are not so good. You can have, I don't know, latency problems, clicks, certain things. Always use the drivers here. This is the first place you should search for the driver on the manufacturer's webpage. Just uninstall the old one and install this one. Good. Chipset. I have it installed. This is an APU driver, but my CPU does not support it. I don't have an APU. This is a gaming LAN utility. If you have a motherboard that it's optimized for gaming. Okay, if you run a RAID setup, you need to activate it both in BIOS and install these ones here, so you can configure it under Windows. If you want to make a BIOS upgrade, you can go here to BIOS, download the update, and you will also have a guide how to update your BIOS. I don't recommend this to do it by yourself because it's very risky. You need to know exactly how to do it, to have an UPS, because if the power goes off, you will break the BIOS. I recommend you to go to a professional. Here is the list of utilities. So if you want software to control the RGB or an app center to manage your PC, for example, EasyTune is for easy overclocking. On-off charge is for your USBs, so they can have power even when the PC is off. You have lots of software here. If you need anything, you can download and install. I recommend you to keep the software from the manufacturer's page at the bare minimum, because they tend to create high latencies in real-time audio and you may experience dropouts. I experienced this a lot of times. I needed even to uninstall drivers sometimes. If you are still missing some drivers or are malfunctioning, you can have a hardware related issue or a driver is not compatible with your configuration. Just try a different driver. For missing drivers, I recommend you to use driver identifier, which I mentioned you earlier. And if you need a walkthrough, just ask in the comment section and I will make a video about that too. If you have a dedicated video card, go to your card's vendor webpage and install the latest driver. Only install the beta driver if you have problems with the standard one, otherwise I do not recommend it. It usually makes more problems than it solves. Let's go there now. I have an Nvidia card, an old Nvidia card, but I don't usually play games, so I don't need one more powerful. You can use the automatic driver updates. If you click this button, it will find your driver automatically, but I prefer to go the old-fashioned way. Okay, here choose your operating system, download type. Here you have game ready driver or studio ready driver. It depends on the use of your video card. If you go here, you will find the description about these types. We'll just leave it at all. Start search. Okay, and here will be all the drivers for your card. Check the driver version. Okay, this is the last one, and download it. I will not download it again because I just installed it, but it's a really simple process. Just next, and then restart. Now let's configure the video settings. In my case, I said it's an Nvidia card. My preferences are always performance. I mean, here the quality difference is not so high. Let's say the difference will be showed in games, if at all. So I'm using the performance, apply. Then go to manage 3D settings. All these things are off. What you need to modify here, it's OpenGL rendering GPU. Select GTX. Okay. For management mode, select prefer maximum performance. Okay, and apply. If you want a specific setting for a specific software, just select the software here and you can modify it. Okay, now go to configure surround physics settings, select the GTX, change resolution. Here you have the resolution. Just select use NVIDIA color settings. This is my format because I'm using a television. If you are using a monitor, it will be RGB. Here at output dynamic range, usually on RGB you have full or limited. Just use full. Okay, if you want, let's say, a custom resolution, you can click customize, enable resolutions not displayed by the display, create custom resolution. Accept. Don't mess with anything around here, just input the resolution and the refresh rate. 16 doesn't work. Sometimes I've found that 59 works, or 50. Okay, and it will appear here, and just apply it, and that's that. Here is the last thing. Just go to advanced, dynamic range, full. Okay, apply and exit. These are the best settings in my opinion for performance, because that's what you are interested of. If you want I don't know, better graphics, you could always modify them in game. Okay, now to configure your audio settings, go here, open sound settings. On the right there is sound control panel. Go there and this opens. I am using an audio interface, so it's a little different, but I will show you here on the TV. Just click configure. If you have a normal system, it will ask you if you have small speakers or large speakers. Just select the one you have. Then go here on properties, go to enhancements. If you want an enhancement in this list, if you have an audio interface, it will be even more enhancements here. Go to advanced, use whatever it's the highest quality here. Click apply, then test it. If you hear sound, it's okay, you're all set. Last but not least, if it's not default, set it default, like this. Recording. Here you have almost the same options. You have more options in enhancement, so you can reduce noise and things like that if you want to use them. Advanced, same thing. Now the next step, install Bitdefender antivirus free or Kaspersky antivirus free. From my experience, those are the best antiviruses on the market at this time, and the best two free solutions. If you already have a paid solution, install that, but if you have Avira, Panda, AVG or anything like that, please ask for a refund, they are useless. If you want everything to be automatic and maybe more sensitive, although I would not recommend it, then configure your antivirus accordingly. Update and restart. I will walk you through this. For this purpose I will use Kaspersky. Kaspersky Antivirus Free. You need to be careful because they have another service. I think it's Kaspersky Cloud or something like that. It's advertised also as free antivirus, but it's not that. Okay, the web page where you need to download it looks like this. Okay, free PC protection, Kaspersky free. Not like this. And not like this. Okay. Download now. Save. Okay, continue. Confirm, accept, install. My browser is in English, but I think the websites detect my IP address and they are displaying it in Romanian because there is where I'm from. Apply. Finish. You can delete those, you don't need them. If you don't have an account, just input your email address, they will make an account for you. If you have one, same thing, just put it here. Accept. Okay, finish. Now update your database. If you want, you can scan your computer. By the way, I recommend always when you insert a flash drive in your computer, even if it's yours, don't open your flash drive. Just right click and scan it with your antivirus. Then if it's safe, you can enter and do whatever you want. Okay, at this point close your browser, then open it again. Yeah, and here it pops up. You can click on that or search on Google Kaspersky Protection 2021, add to Firefox. So it can protect you before you download anything. Okay, now we need to install DirectX Runtime. This is required for some applications and games. Always uncheck this, you don't need a Bing bar. Next. Done. Now if you want, you can install Adobe Reader. The first is free, the Pro is paid, but it has lots of features, useful ones. If you have a SSD that supports stream function and rapid mode, let's say for the purpose of this video, it's a Samsung Evo 840. Download the software toolbox for your SSD. They are usually called Samsung Magician, ADATA SSD Toolbox, Intel SSD Toolbox, and so on. Install the software, and I recommend you to enable Trim Rapid Mode over provisioning for a longer SSD's lifespan and performance, and do an SSD optimization from the toolbox. These settings will greatly improve your SSD's performance. For each term, you can find the definition in the description of the video. At some point when you apply the settings, it will prompt you with a restart. Just do that. Okay, it's a consumer SSD, Magician software, download. The same thing is with the other SSDs. We don't need that anymore. Yes. Next. Accept, next, create a desktop icon, install. Launch. Here you can see some benchmarks if you have any. Here you can see the drive information, drive details for each of them. This one is mine. AHCI mode activated. Yeah. Here you can make a performance benchmark. I show you one now and after. Here is a diagnostic scan, but this drive does not support this feature. Here is the over provisioning that I was talking about. Allocates a certain capacity of the SSD to an available space to improve the performance and lifetime of the SSD. Yeah, the recommended is 10%, but you can go more or less. Okay, here you can make the performance optimization. Rapid mode. Yeah, it's off. And trim status. Some SSDs have it off from factory, this one comes with it enabled. Let's do a performance benchmark. And I will do another one after I restart, because I will need to restart after I apply the settings. I will just skip ahead. Okay, if it's ready, if you want, just note down these numbers so you can compare it later. I will apply the settings now. First the over provisioning. It was over provisioned already. Yeah, recommended. Don't worry, it will not affect the results. Performance optimization, but this will. Okay, optimize drives, solid state, see, optimize. It's been trimmed. Close. Now let's benchmark it again. Okay, it's enabled. Over provisioning is set. Start. Even if the read-write speeds are much higher, I'm more interested in the random IOPS speeds, because that is more important, for me at least. It helps with the loading speeds of Windows, of apps, faster execution time. I don't really know how accurate it is, but it's pretty accurate. You can test it with another benchmark, such as Crystal Disk Mark or something like that. It will be close in speeds. And this is it. This is the difference. That is all for now, guys. If you need more info or if you need a specific tutorial, please drop down in the comments and tell me. If you liked my video and helped you, give me a like, a subscribe and hit that bell button so you'll get notified of future videos. Thank you, have a nice day.